Welcome back, my duelist friends. Casual Duelist here, and today is Tuesday. Today's Tuesday, and today we are doing a viewer submission of a Genesis profile for Kaiba, I guess, because it's all blue eyes today. So, real quick, we're going to try to step back to the way that we used to do things. I'm going to give you the list, and then I'm going to talk about it, okay? So, first up's first, we're going to use 3 blue eyes, 2 alternative, 2 jet dragons, 2 Dictators of D, 3 Effect Veilers. We're going to use 3 copies Maiden of White. We're going to use 2 copies of Neo Kaiser Seahorse. You'll have to forgive me, a friend wanted to borrow a couple copies. This would normally be 3 Primite Dragon Ether Barrels. Right now, my other Primite Dragon is actually spun around in the other 2. And then to round out the monsters, you're going to go with 3 Sage with the Eyes of Blue. This lets you do so many cool things with the way that this deck is built. And again, we'll go over it in the second half. Going into the spells, Mausoleum of White, 3 Drill Beams, 2 Roars. I'm going to have to set these over here. To go along with the Primite Roars, we're going to need 3 Roars of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. We are only going to tech in 1 copy of Thrust. We are going to require 3 copies of Ultimate Fusion, 2 copies Wishes for Eyes of Blue, and then to take this deck up to 40, we're going to need a single copy Majesty of the White Dragons and 1 copy of True Light. So just real quick, like everything that goes in here, it's all engine-based, and a good chunk of this deck is found within the last structure deck for the Blue Eyes White Dragon. It was the Saga of the Blue Eyes or something like that. And this actually works very well. Give us a half second. I'm going to clean this up. We're going to get you guys the extra deck, and then we're going to go back through. We're going to actually explain some of this stuff. So just 1 second. All right, to start off the extra deck, we're going to go through this Fusion Synchro and then Xyz. Just for the simplicity, this is a full 15. We're going to do the 1 regular ultimate, 1 alternative ultimate, 1 Twin Burst, and 1 Tyrant. Fusions are pretty bland. Fusions are just there for the utility. Everything here is playable. Everything has a reason. And honestly, I get it. This is good. Going to Synchro, we have 1 copy of Zur, 1/2 of the Blue Eyes Spirit, 1/2 of the Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit. And again, this feels kind of basic, but when we end up getting into the effects, you'll see how we can juggle Blue Eyes White Dragon a lot. And then it just sort of doesn't matter. Xyz. What we've got here, we have 1 copy Dinjurisu, 1 copy Galaxy Eyes Cypher, 1 copy Galaxy Eyes Full Armor Photon, 1 copy Indigo Eyed, or sorry, 2 copies Indigo Eyes Silver Dragon, and then 1 copy of number 60 or 68 Santa Ford the Sky Prison, which is, again, this one came out of left field for me. I didn't really understand this one at first. It's good tech, so that's the extra deck that goes along with this. So if that's all you needed today was the list, this is a 100 points, again, when we checked this, 100 points list for Genesis. And we are going to put today's date on the, as part of the title. This way, anybody who wants to like fact check it, later on down the road when the list evolves, as gaming lists do, they'll go, oh, well, that was made then, or that was made for that exact point in time. So little less to be confused about. I'm trying to get better when it comes to this Genesis stuff because, honestly, I'm playing too many formats and too many games right now. So, if this is what you were here for, thank you for your time. Have a wonderful day. Go do the things or don't do the things. For everybody else, give me another second, and we're going to run it back, okay? So just 1 sec. All right. Starting with the main deck. Blue Eyes White Dragon, pretty obvious. Got to use 3 of the OG because it is integral to a lot of the plays, and that is fine. Alternative Dragon is a good card. The way this one works, cannot be normal summoned or set. You special summon it by revealing 1 basic Blue Eyes from your hand. You can only special summon 1 copy of this per turn by this method. The name does become Blue Eyes while it's on field or grave. Once per turn, target a monster your opponent controls, destroy it. If you do, this monster may not declare an attack that turn. 3's too many. 2's just enough to keep it interesting. So if you find yourself not having another card later on in the stack list, feel free to increase the number, but also you don't have to. Blue Eyes Jet Dragon, this was a really cool reprint when we got, again, the new structure deck. The way this works, other cards you control cannot be destroyed by opponent card effects. You can only use each of the following effects of the Blue Eyes Jet Dragon once per turn, and can only activate them while Blue Eyes White Dragon is on the field or in the graveyard, which I think you'll find the alternative dragon is going to help you by having 5 names available. If a cards on the field will be destroyed by battle or by card effect, you can special summon this card from the graveyard if it was there when it was destroyed, or the hand even if it wasn't. At the start of the damage step, if this card battles, target one card your opponent controls, return it to the hand. So, again, bouncing things, resurrecting itself, it's part of the juggling act. So, super good. The Dictator of D, we run this at 2. While you control a Blue Eyes monster, you choose to attack targets for your opponent's attacks. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. Send a Blue Eyes White Dragon from the hand or deck to the graveyard. Special summon this card from your hand. You can discard one Blue Eyes White Dragon or one card that mentions it. Then target Blue Eyes in the graveyard and special summon it. Go back through this. So, you can send a Blue Eyes to then have a Blue Eyes in the graveyard, right? And then if a card or cards on the field will be destroyed by battle or card effect, we can special summon this guy, which is kind of cool. But then later on, like we get a lot of juggling. It's a lot of juggling effects. And they do help feed each other, which is cool. One of the higher cost cards as far as the points. I do know that the effect failures are going to be a thing. Effect failures probably are like subjectively the second best hand trap in Yu-Gi-Oh! And I love that this duelist went ahead and used them. Because you could play through the Ash Blossoms. Effect failures, sometimes it's just a full stop. 3 copies of the Maiden in white, which is cool. 1 Star Tuner. You can send this card from your hand or the field to the graveyard. Place 1 copy of the Trap True Light from your hand deck or graveyard face up in your spell trap zone. You can special summon Blue Eyes White Dragon while this card is in your graveyard. If you summon Blue Eyes White Dragon, so if you special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon while this is in the graveyard, then you can special summon this when a card or effect is activated that targets this card on the field, or when this is targeted for an attack. Quick effect, special summon a Blue Eyes White Dragon or 1 level 1 Light Tuner from the graveyard, which is also pretty crazy. And again, if we're dictating the attacks, we can go ahead with the Dictator of D. We can send that to the biggest dragon that we have. So, it's cool. It does a lot of stuff. The Neo Kaiser Seahorse is actually a really cool card too. If you control a Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can special summon this from the hand. I love effects like that. You can target 1 Light Tuner that you control, increase or decrease its level by 1. It's tricky and it's good and I like it. If this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, you can send 1 Blue Eyes monster or one monster that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon from the deck to the graveyard, except the same name. Each effect is once per turn. So again, you got level modulation. This is going to help with Xyz plays on occasion. Not in this deck, but like just in general. So again, good stuff. Ether Barrel. Ether Barrel's like amazing again. If this card is normal summoned, you can set 1 Primite spell trap from the deck. You can only use 1 of each of the effects per turn. Each of the following effects once per turn. You can tribute this card, send 1 normal monster from the deck to the graveyard. During your standby, if you have a normal monster in the field or graveyard, you can add this card from the graveyard to the hand. And then every time you play this, you get out another Primite thing. And again, it's loopy. It's good. Sage with the Eyes of Blue. Again, I'm rocking some old ones. This guy is definitely in the common charity pile now. He's definitely been reprinted. He was definitely in that structure deck that I keep mentioning. When normal summoned, you can add 1 level 1 Light Tuner from the deck to the hand, except same name. You can discard this card, target 1 effect monster you control, send it to the graveyard. If you do, special summon Blue Eyes from the deck. And it is a Blue Eyes monster. It's not Blue Eyes White Dragon in quotes. So again, it does have a little bit more utility. Again, if you didn't have, like, for some reason, the alternatives are the Primites, you could probably get away with playing like Dragon Spirit in white. I'm not 100% sure if it's anywhere on the Genesys list, but it would be decent. We made it back to spells, so the Mausoleum, we need to talk about that. It's a little one-off. This was cool little tech. During the main phase, you can normal summon 1 level 1 light monster in addition to your normal summoner set, which is great. Just right there, we could stop there. Once per turn, you can target one face-up monster you control, send a normal from the hand or deck to the graveyard. If you do, the targeted monster gains attack and defense equal to the level of the monster sent times 100 until the end of the turn. Even if this card leaves the field, you can banish this card from the graveyard to add one burst stream of destruction from the deck to the hand. We don't play burst stream, so there's a little bit of modulation. Really, we're playing this for the extra summonings. Allows us to get our synchros off. We get Drill Beam, the quick play. Reveal a Primite card or a normal monster in the hand. Very easy to do in this deck. Except Drill Beams. Or if you control a normal monster or level 5 or higher Primite monster, except a token, you can activate this effect without revealing a card. Then target one face-up card on the field, negate its effects, and if you do, banish it. During the main phase, if you control a Primite monster, you can set this card from your graveyard. You can only use each effect once per turn. Again, it's good. It's statically just good card. Primite Roar, also good. Quick play, pay 2k. Declare one normal monster card. Name the declared normal monster, and Primite monsters you control cannot be disturbed by battle until the end of the opponent's turn. Thing is, Blue Eyes White Dragon is also the alternative dragon because of the name change. So it is a name of a normal monster card, and it will affect an effect monster. Then if you were to control no monsters when you activate this, you can special summon one declared normal monster from the deck in defense. If your opponent normal summons a monster, you banish this card in the graveyard and target one normal monster you control or in your graveyard. Banish a monster from the field with less attack than that monster. And again, Blue Eyes has a spectacular attack at 3,000, so this gets its mileage. I love that it's able to be reused from the discard with that secondary effect. So again, it gets a little bit more mileage. It's a good card. We got the 3 copies Roar of the Blue-Eyed Dragons. Again, this is out of the starter deck. Special summon in defense position one Blue Eyes monster from your deck, grave, or banishment. But if you control no Blue Eyes White Dragon, you can only play a Blue Eyes White Dragon. So, gotta get out the OG before you can bring out any of his New Age pals. But it's still a free monster. So, got that. You get out special summon from the extra deck for the rest of the turn, except dragons. We got you. You can banish this card from the graveyard. I love that. Fusion summon a fusion monster from the extra deck using cards from hand and field, including a Blue Eyes. You can only use this effect once. You can only use one effect per turn and only once that turn. So it's a hard once per turn, one way or the other. But this is good. This is why we have things like the Tyrant Burst Dragon or the Tyrant Dragon, because it's good. I'm going to assume that you guys understand how Thrust works here. But if the opponent's playing on your turn, you can set a normal spell or trap from your deck. And if your opponent controls the monster while that happens, you can just add it straight to your hand. So again, it's just a good tech searcher. 3 Ultimate Fusion. I love this quick play. During the main phase, Fusion summon one fusion monster from the extra deck that mentions Blue Eyes or Ultimate Dragon as material by shuffling the materials mentioned from hand, field, and grave back to deck. You can destroy face-up cards your opponent controls up to the number of Blue Eyes White Dragon and Ultimate Dragon used from the field as material. You can only activate one per turn, and since it is the main phase, you would think that this does not affect the battle phase. But let me lay a little bit of quick old school casual knowledge on you. When people are leaving phases, that's actual game knowledge. So they go, I'm going to go to battle phase. It's like, oh, okay, cool. At the end of your main phase 1, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to rip into this effect, and I'm going to pop the only monster that you were going to attack me with. And that's fully legal. So just have fun with that. 2 copies Wishes. Discard a card, add a level 1 light tuner and a spell trap that mentions the Blue Eyes White Dragon from the deck to the hand. Crazy work there. Cannot add another copy of the Wishes. You can banish this card from the graveyard, target one Blue Eyes White Dragon you control. Equip a Blue Eyes monster from the extra deck to it as an equipped spell that gives it 400 attack. Each effect is a once per turn. Now that 400, that is some crazy work, but we got stuff to show you, so it's going to be good. You got the copy of Majesty of White. Show up to 3 Blue Eyes White Dragon in your hand. Face-up Monster Zone and or Graveyard. So, as long as you can show 3. Destroy an equal number of cards your opponent controls, up to 3 then. You can banish this from the graveyard to ritual summon a ritual monster from the hand, which we're not doing. But you attribute Blue Eyes White Dragons from the hand and field to equal the star level. So if we were playing, say, Blue Eyes Chaos Max, then you could do something with this. And then True Light. True Light is a one-of because we have a bunch of cards that either put it on the field or can search it. Your opponent cannot target Blue Eyes White Dragon in your monster zone with card effects. If this face-up card is sent from the spell and trap zone to the graveyard, destroy all monsters you control. You can only use the effect of the following effect. Once per turn, you activate one of these. Special summon a Blue Eyes from the hand or grave. Set one spell trap from the deck that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon with a different name from the cards you control or in your graveyard. So again, it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. And that is the main deck. So again, this Duelist submitted what I think is actually a very fun build. And as long as we're just talking about budgets, like, I want to say 90% of this. I want to say everything but the Primite cards. There's like 8 cards in here that I don't think came with Starkster decks. Even the Triple Tactics Thrust. I want to say Thrust was the one that we got with, maybe that was Tactics, Talent. We got one of these in the last starter deck with Albaz. So I'll be double checking that later to see if it was Thrust or not. I really thought it was. But, wait, I got it sitting right here. It actually was Thrust. And, so, like, for the most part, like, you should maybe have this if you've been collecting cards for a minute. Extra deck. Again, we got the Blue Eyes Ultimate. You can actually play a 4,500 point beat stick. You have the alternative dragon, same thing, 3 Blue Eyes. Your opponent cannot target or destroy this card with card effects. Once per turn, you can target a card your opponent controls destroyed. If this card was fusion summoned using a monster whose original name was Alternative Dragon, you can target up to 3 cards your opponent controls instead. This card cannot attack the turn this effect is activated, which is good because he's kind of mean. He's cool stuff though. You got Twin Burst, any 2 Blue Eyes. Must either be fusion summoned or special summoned by sending the above from the field to the grave. So you can tag fuse 2 Blue Eyes to do this. It's awesome. It cannot be played in any other ways outside of those. Cannot be destroyed by battle. This card can make up to 2 attacks on monsters every battle phase. At the end of the damage step, if it attacks an opponent's monster but the monster was not destroyed by battle, you banish it. It is a nasty little tech card. It's super fun though. And then we get our Tyrant. Must either be fusion summoned or special summoned from the extra deck by attributing Blue Eyes White equipped with a fusion monster. So again, the one card that let us equip can get us into the Tyrant Dragon. Or again, we can just attach the Tyrant Dragon to something. Attributing 1 Blue Eyes attached with a fusion monster unaffected by trap cards or effects. Can attack all monsters your opponent controls once each. Once per turn at the end of the damage step, if this card battles, you can target 1 trap in your graveyard. You can reset it. Tyrant Dragon is honestly a really cool dragon, and again, makes his way here. Azure Eyes is going to be basically always a tuner plus a 1 or more non-tuner normals. Think 1 star plus Blue Eyes every time. When it's special summoned, dragons you control cannot be targeted or destroyed by card effects until the end of the next turn, and once per turn during your standby phase, target a normal monster in the graveyard and bring it back. Again, juggles Blue Eyes. Spirit Dragon, a little bit bigger. Still a 9. Tuner plus a non-tuner Blue Eyes monsters. So what we get here is we could use the alternative dragon, we use the jet. Still a 9 star. Neither player can special summon 2 or more monsters at the same time. This is actually going to be a floodgate in a format that does not really want floodgates. But it's such a specific floodgate. It's so hard to play, but it's really not. Once per turn, when the effect of a card in the graveyard is activated, quick effect, you may negate it. Quick effect, you contribute this synchro summoned card, special summon 1 light dragon synchro monster from the extra deck in defense position, except same name. So again, pretty cool. You run a double because it's a floodgate. It's going to get popped. We have the Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit, so we're just going to do this real quick. 4. Okay, so it is a 12 star. Requires 2 tuners and 1 non-tuner Blue Eyes monster. So non-tuner Blue Eyes monster, Blue Eyes White Dragon is 8 plus your Kaiser Seahorse is 12 plus the fact that it can decrease a 1 star or increase a star level, means we could take a star off of him or the second tuner. So it's pretty easy to make this. Your opponent cannot banish cards in your graveyard. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. When a card or effect is activated on the field, quick effect. Negate. If you do, this card gains 1,000 attack until the end of the turn. If this card is destroyed by battle or card effect, you can special summon a Light Dragon except... Light Dragon from the graveyard except Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. So it makes it so it can't do what Colossal Fighter did. Again, that's pretty good. Orchest is going to be 2/8. You can only special summon this once per turn. You can also Xyz using this in an Orchest card, so it does like Xyz Evolution that way. If a card or cards you control would be destroyed, you can detach material from this card instead. If it's special summon, you can activate one of the following effects. Either send one card your opponent controls to the graveyard or attach one of your banished machines to this as material. Since we're not playing machines, we're looking at sending a card your opponent controls to the graveyard, as well as just going ahead and being awesome. Cypher Dragon is 2/8. Once per turn, detach material. Target a face-up monster that your opponent controls. Monsters you control cannot attack your opponent directly for the rest of the turn, except this card. Also, take control of the targeted monster until the end phase, but while this effect is applied, it has its effects negated. Its attack becomes 3,000. It also becomes known as Galaxy Cypher Dragon. So again, cool little play. Full Armor Photon is just cool. 3/8. You can Xyz some of this using a Galaxy Eyes Xyz monster you control as material, so we could step off the last one. Xyz materials attached, transfer over. Once per turn, you can target up to 2 equip cards equipped to this card, attach them to this card as materials. Once per turn, you can detach material from this, target them with face-up monster your opponent controls, and destroy it. So again, not bad. Indigo Eyes, I feel like this is pretty good. 2/8. Cannot attack directly unless this card has normal monster as material, so has to have the base Blue Eyes. You can only use each of the following effects once per turn. If this card is Xyz summoned, you can negate the effects of all face-up cards your opponent currently controls, which is pretty sick. And you can detach material from this card, target a normal monster in the graveyard or banishment, special summon it, and if you do, it gains 1,000 attack. It means basic Blue Eyes is going to be punching up at 4,000, which again is pretty cool. So, and then the last card, this is the card I was the most impressed with seeing, was number 68, Santaphon, the Sky Prison. Number 1, I just like the way that thing looks. Can we take a second? That thing looks awesome. All right, so it's 2/8, gains 100 attack and defense for every monster in the graveyards. Once per turn, detach material from this card until the end of the opponent's next turn. This card cannot be destroyed by card effects, and neither player can special summon monsters from the graveyard. This thing puts like a whole turn stop, which again kind of makes it sort of Floodgate-esque. It's almost like Baguska in this. It's going to get you the turn, and the longer the game goes, the stronger it's going to get just on principle. And it's going to get that 100 points as soon as it rips its own material off. But remember, once it does, it cannot be destroyed by card effects. So that's kind of cool. So again, cool little tech. Love it. There were some I didn't see that I was like, I could have played like my Felgrind. That would have been fun. There's a bunch of options. There's never going to be like one deck that's considered the best. So I want to thank the Duelist for submitting this. I hope everybody enjoyed this. Maybe we'll go back to this old format where I just do the list and then we talk about it afterward. Let me know if you guys liked it, okay? Outside of that, tomorrow we're going to be opening some Avatar packs, which is going to be kind of cool. And then we'll see you guys later on this week, okay? We'll see you probably on the weekend, actually. So till then, you guys have a good one. We'll see you guys next time. Later.